Well, got some pretty bummer news. We were supposed to be on the Utopia of the Seas, Royal Caribbean's brand new ship for an inaugural sailing, 3-day sailing, goes out to Coco Cay and comes back, and we missed it!
Yeah.
I'm so bummed, because I was looking forward to getting on that ship, man.
So it was a nightmare day, okay? So first off, we know not to fly in the day of a cruise. That's not what happened here. Our flight was booked the day before the cruise. We were supposed to arrive in Orlando at about 7 p.m., have a nice night, get up the next morning, go to Port Canaveral, get on the ship. So we're at the airport, we're checked in, we're on the plane starts taxiing off to the runway, and it stops. And the pilot comes on and says, we have a ground order from Orlando, we can't leave here for an hour.
And it was very, very, very hot.
Yeah, everybody starts doing this.
You know how it takes forever to taxi out, and when there's a lot of traffic, it just takes forever to take off. Well, we just thought that's what it was, but it was a little bit longer than normal. Probably 35 minutes. We were sitting there before they made the announcement. Captain comes on, he's like, we got a ground order. We're not going anywhere because of severe weather in Orlando.
Yeah.
So we're gonna hang out here for about an hour. And we're like, oh my God, we're gonna be stuck on this plane. It's hot. I was like, man, is the AC working? It was really, really hot. Luckily, about 5 minutes later, the pilot gets on and he's like, we're gonna taxi back to the gangway. You guys can get off or stay on if you want. So that's what we did. So we were in the airport, had AC, thank goodness. Got us some hamburgers, and we waited.
Yeah, and so we're watching the weather in Orlando, and they're pulled up the radar, and there's this massive storm that's all over Central Florida. It's like literally the width of the state. It's a huge, huge storm full of lightning.
And it's not moving.
And and you know how some storms are green and that just means rain, and then they're yellow? This was red.
So this is the worst part about traveling, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is the scary part about airplanes and at the mercy of the weather. You know, you're sitting there freaked out the whole time. Man, are we gonna be able to make this? Are we gonna be able to make this? You know that feeling? That's a sucky feeling. And so we're playing the waiting game, and we're looking at the radar, and we're like, how is this gonna play out?
Okay, so we live in a town with a very small airport. There's not a lot of flight options from here. And we went and talked to the airline, and basically there was nothing we could get until the next evening, which we would have missed our cruise. And you know, you're like, oh my God, what do I do? And like, can I drive here? Can I drive there? What, you know, when you book a flight the last minute, like the day of, you're gonna pay like literally an arm and a leg for it. So, you know, if we would have gone to another airport or gone with another airline, you're looking at hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars to change your flight. Because it was weather related, the airline could not put us on another airline. We asked that question because I know if it's mechanical failure with this plane, you know, with this airline, then they will put you on another flight. That wasn't an option. But plus, everything was grounded into Orlando. You know, even if we could have found another flight, would that one have made it into Orlando? And then what about driving? It's 13 hours from where we live to Orlando, and this was already at 6
o'clock, a little after 6, and there was no way I was gonna do that. I mean, that's just dumb, right? That's just stupid. Nothing is worth risking your life.
Yeah.
You fall asleep at the wheel, bad things can happen, right? I mean, it just can. And so ultimately, I was like, we're just gonna go home.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's other ships. You know, as cool as that ship it looks, and as much as we wanted to be there, you gotta kick in the common sense. Right?
Yeah.
So that's what we did, and made the decision to just say, screw it, let's go home. And we weren't meant to be on this cruise, obviously.
I cried some tears.
What was weird, the night before, we're laying in bed.
This is true.
We live in a new subdivision, and it was a very, very clear night. Not a cloud in the sky. Stars were out. We have the underground electricity, protected from the elements. Well, we lay in the bed, and probably an hour passes, and the electricity goes off for like 10 seconds, and then it comes back on. And I'm like, what the heck? I go outside and I look, and I'm like, is there a storm coming? Nothing. It was clear. Stars were out. That has never happened in the 2 years we've been in this house. So I was just like, and immediately, I don't know why I said this, but immediately I go, we're not supposed to go to on that cruise.
This is a true story. I'm
True
like, really? The first thing that pops into your head is we can't go on our cruise because the electricity went off.
And you know this one did not want to hear that.
No.
She's like, oh, whatever. This just the electricity went off. I'm like, I don't know, man. So I read it as like a sign, right? I'm one of those weird people that believes in that stuff. Or cool people that believe in that stuff, depending on what you look at it. But so that was it. And that was really what helped me make my decision. Like, nah, let's go home. We're not supposed to be on this cruise. As crazy as it sounds to some of you people, that's what happened. That's the truth of the matter. And what's bad is we were like, I was fired up. She was fired up.
Yeah.
We were geared up. We were just ready to go, man. We were really looking forward. It's been a while since I've been on a cruise, or we've been on a cruise. So
Yep.
we were ready to go. And wah, 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 wah.
Moral of the story is make sure you always, always, always have travel insurance because you never know what's going to happen. Everybody plans on going on a trip. Nobody plans on canceling their trip.
That's correct.
Things happen, you
Life
know.
happens, man.
Our first trip that we were going to Alaska, luckily that trip we had a 2-day buffer. We were going into Seattle 2 days early. Again, weather, messed us up. We lost an entire day in Seattle. If we would have flown in the day before or the day of, we might have missed that cruise. This one, we had it booked out 1 day in advance.
So you never know. Even, always book a day in advance. Minimum.
Yes.
Okay? Minimum. And even then, things still happen. So
Yep.
you never know. You can only control so much. I mean, if we just really felt like we needed to get on that ship, I'm sure we could have hop, skipped, and jumped and done it. But y'all, come on, pick your battles.
Yeah. And so, that's what travel insurance is there for. When you have a coverage like that and something like this happens, you're not out all that money. So you're not like desperate to get to the cruise terminal and drive through the night and risk your lives because you spent $6,000 on a trip and you don't want to lose that $6,000.
Because I promise you, if we wouldn't have had travel insurance, we would have made that flight. Maybe we wouldn't have, because that was a long night to drive 13 hours, starting at 6. Boarding day would have sucked.
Yeah, we wouldn't have been, even if we would have done that,
It would have been useless on camera, We'd be like, oh, here we are. Hey, look at us, cross-eyed. Anyway, get that travel insurance, y'all.
Well, you know what? This is like the good, bad, and the ugly of travel. We always show the beautiful, lovely parts of travel.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
This is the ugly part of travel.
Yes, indeed. Hey, balance.
Yeah.
The ugly part sucks, though. I like the pretty part way better. But anyway, so no vlogs coming from Utopia. We're very, very sorry and bummed out about that. But we will be on a cruise soon and bring you some more of that good, fun cruise content and some more RV travel as well coming up.
All right. See you later.
Peace.